also Board Member Eric Weston at the meeting. I don't see Mary or, oh, here's Mary just coming in right now.
Okay.
Um,
You
Can
said
we
Deborah
know-
may be running a couple minutes late. What is it, 5:31?
If, oh, there's Mary. Okay, good. So you have 4 members, Mr. Chairman.
Not bad. Okay, we can probably start. Okay, so welcome to the Board of Health meeting here in Yarmouth. It's June 7th, 2021. Please note, this is a remote participation meeting. First item, as usual, is the attendance. I'm Hillard Bosky. Anyone else here?
Mary Craig,
Eric Weston.
Charlie Holloway's with, next to me.
Okay, fine. So we have a quorum. Let's go to public comment. See if anybody's calling in.
I think we may have a couple. I know a couple had reached me today and they may. So let's see, is anybody there that wishes to come forward and speak?
Great.
Oh, Deborah's in now, so we do have a full board, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, 5:32. Great. Just for the minutes there. Good.
You can admit them. Are they
Yeah, we
admitted?
did.
Okay.
But he's like, he's talking, but I'll call him because he's not a teacher.
Yeah, unless, if anybody wishes in the public to speak, they need to unmute themselves. They have been admitted to the meeting. But if they're muted, we can't hear you, so we'll give you a second to unmute if you wish to speak. If not, we will proceed forward with the meeting. We all good, Eric?
Mhm.
Okay, we have, from what I can see, Mr. Chairman, no one came forward to speak prior to the meeting.
Okay, let's work our way down there in the agenda. Number 2, this is tobacco cap variance wording. Includes a vote tonight. I'm sure everyone went through the packet, and there is a sentence there. Town council wrote it, and that had reference to a possible addendum to the tobacco regulations. Basically, it says notwithstanding the above, for good cause shown by the applicant, the board may, at its sole discretion, issue a variance from the limitations contained in this section and may replace conditions on the issuance of any such variance. So that's the language of it.
You want to scroll down to the letter that he's reading? Keep going.
We have it. Perfect. There it is. So there it is, right above the MTC. So if there's any discussion, this would be the time before there's a vote on it.
Hi, it's Deb. I think it's a happy medium. I think it doesn't change the language of the tobacco regulation as it is, but it also gives some leeway. And if people were to come in front of the board, there is an avenue for them to make a case, I guess.
You want to say, sit there and
Any other comments?
support that motion or what was written down?
Do I want to support this motion?
no motion yet.
Well, it's the wording.
Yeah, and we're just discussing this item, Charlie.
Okay. Slide my glasses over here, would you please? Thank you. So we do have provisions in case somebody can try to get a license. Are we now flexible or are we still cut and dry?
So how I understand it, Charlie, is the policy, the tobacco regulation stays as it is with this language added at the end of it.
Well, you know how I feel about this regulation anyway. I just soon see it all discontinued, but. So. No, I'm not comfortable with it.
Anyone else? If there's none, we can certainly vote on it.
So would that be, someone would have to make a motion to vote on it, is that correct?
Yeah, a motion could be to accept or not accept the additional line to the tobacco regulations. That would just allow, if there's a second, to vote on it. So it doesn't make any difference which way the motion is made. The motion can be made to accept it, or the motion can be made to not accept it, and then they would be voted on, as long as it's clearly stated, so we all kind of understand what we're voting for or against. That, I mean, obviously it's important. Here.
I'm sorry, Hillard, if there's no objection, I move that we add that language to the policy, to the regulation, sorry.
Great, that was clear. Okay. Is there a second to the motion of accepting it or adding the language?
I'll second.
There's a second, okay. So with second motion, we can vote on it. If anyone's in favor of the motion, just raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
There's one. That's all I see. All those against, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so it's voted down 4-1. That language will not be added to the regulations. Okay. Let me find the agenda here. Here we go. Number 3. Director Murphy, often this is your thing, and you've been doing a great job on it. We've been at this for 14 months. And things are getting better. So why don't you give us an update? Just anything we need to know? Certainly vaccinations are key.
Okay, here we are. It's a typical chart that I start with each of the updates with the Board of Health or Board of Selectmen. We can see the graph has really gone down from the beginning when we started in May, which was the start of the pandemic, April and May. Then we had the really big peak in November, December, January down again. Then we hit the third wave. Kind of after the Christmas break, and it went back up in March and stayed with us for another month, and then it started going way down the end of April into May, and we can see that we're down to one case May 24th, and the last time we had one case was October 21st. So the cases that we're monitoring daily has dropped considerably. So we feel that we're back into where we were last summer, where we had June, July, August, September, where we pretty much had no cases for a number of days, then very few cases. And what we're contributing that to is more people outside, outside activities, vaccinations, precautions that were taken earlier. So I think obviously we're on the right track. So as we kind of break those figures down a little bit more, we'll go to the next slide. So we base this when we're making the packet last Friday. Overall, we've had 1,581 cases in town, and then last Friday we were following 2 active cases. Obviously that's way down. I think we can go to the next slide. I grabbed the calendar real quick and wanted to sit down with the Phil that keeps track of all this, for Phil Manu, the one of the health inspectors that keeps track of COVID. We can see what happened in May, that we got into a couple days of 0. Then we went to the 12th and 13th, and we had a few days. And that's pretty much when we also moved down from out of the red to the yellow to the green under the state ratings. And then you can see we went on a streak of 0 cases on, May 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You can see we had no cases at all. 24, we had 1. And then, pretty much we didn't have cases coming in for a good stretch. On the 26th, we had 3 cases in, but after Phil determined they weren't Yarmouth cases, we were able to move them to the correct town. That brings us into the next slide, which is June, where we are now. And we can see that, at the start of June, we had no cases. We had 1 on Friday, then we had no cases over the weekend. So we kind of keep the data in a lot of different ways, but this seemed to be a nice visual one also, besides the chart, where we can see a number of days down to 0, 1 case. So I think, we're definitely on the right direction and staying, and hopefully we'll be staying in that direction as we noticed last summer.
Looking
Okay,
good.
so- Yes, very good. So let's take a look at how it breaks down in Yarmouth by our age groups. Another thing that we follow, and Eric is able to grab this off each week when it comes out on Thursday and Friday morning. She can pull it off the state website, and we can see the individuals. It's really this first light blue column that we're looking at, the people that have had at least one shot. So as we go down there to the bottom in Yarmouth, we've had almost 16,000 people that have had 1 shot, 69% of our population. So I think we're doing well. We're ahead of some communities in the state, so we keep pushing vaccine. We've done real well in the older age group, and we have the younger age group getting their shots now. So this is a good chart we like to monitor. Our next chart, Erica also puts together, is how all the Cape towns are doing and Cape Wide, and we can see that Cape Wide is also doing very well. And I think Barnstable County is one of the highest in the state. And we can see how Yarmouth is down the bottom, which we see 16,000 people, 16,652 that have had at least 1 dose, the 69%. So, you can see that's doing well. Everybody's pretty close, that the larger communities, you got Sandwich at 63%, Mashpee at 62%, Falmouth at 73%, but we probably need to remember they have a vaccination site in their town, a county vaccination site. Eastham, Dennis is doing well. Chatham, Brewster, Bourne, Barnstable's doing well. And we have to remember that they have a couple vaccination sites in Barnstable, either at the community college that, yes, people from other towns go there, but, that's available. And they also have the Melody Tent, and they've also been very active with their Council on Aging. So I think across the towns, I think Yarmouth is doing very well with 16,000 vaccinated. We still got a ways to go, and we're getting it out there. But I think that's our big push right now. As we break that down a little further, we try to see how we're getting our vaccinations per week. And we can go down by age group, and the last column on the right. So let's go down so we can see over the last, from April, how many vaccinations we're getting down from at the totals down the bottom. So we're kind of, we had that 444 week, but I think that was the follow-up on the school vaccination. We were up at the high school, and now we're down to, last week, we had 266 people get vaccinated, and that's by the age group breakdown. And we can see that in that particular case, the 30 to 49 age group had 90 people. And that was an area that we knew that we need to get vaccinated. And we've also reached down to the 12 to 15 that they've broken out to. We've had 46 children in that group. So I think we're going to keep running this a few more weeks. So just so we can kind of follow how the town's doing on vaccination wise.
Bruce, are you going to have any more clinics specifically for the high school or?
Well, right
School.
now, and I'm going to get into that vaccination wise, the availability of vaccination is becoming a lot more easy for people just to make the appointment and to try to set up a large clinic. And I'll
Okay.
explain, I'll get to that in a moment. That's a great question. Hospitalizations have been way down. We haven't updated this since June 1st, but going back and forth monitoring what's hospitalizations at Cape Cod Hospital, it's pretty much been 1 or 2 beds or maybe 1 in ICU. So that's gone down, and that's very good, because we can see back at the end of March, we had 30 people in Cape Cod Hospital. So that's a good indication that we're going in the right direction. This kind of just showed us what I showed on the graph, that we went no positive cases for 7 days in May. And then towards the end of May, we went another 6 days. So amen to that. Okay. So as we go into vaccination, where we're concentrating now, it's a great question, Mary, is still in board members availability at the Melody Tent, that people can call this number to make an appointment very quickly. The next slide is the Melody Tent website. If they want to get on that way, you can get on there, you can call or get on their website. Okay. Oh, had that in there twice. Very good. Pushing the Melody Tent. That's good. Barnstable Harbor Health in Hyannis is another one that's very active, that people can call Barnstable to get these very prompt appointments. Then we go to our local clinics. We have CVS right up on Station Ave. They've been very prompt getting vaccinations. You can probably get something within a couple days on Station Ave. Then we also have Walgreens here in South Yarmouth, right here on 28. They have J&J available for walk-ins. You can also make appointments. So we're seeing a ready available vaccine. And then we also have added to the list Stop and Shop, their pharmacy at Long Pond, the Stop and Shop on Long Pond also has J&J available. And you can get online to register for that. And vaccine appointments are readily available. So based on the readily available vaccine, where either you can walk in or call and get it that day or the next day, it seems the flexibility is just within Yarmouth to make it available. So, and that gives the people a lot of flexible time, whether they're working or at night. And I think it's, the flexibility is there, Mary and board members.
So does that mean some of these are open in the evenings or weekends?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
What their hours are for sure, I don't know if they go past 5, but I know they're available on weekends also. Stop and Shop has different days available, but I think if people went on there, they're absolutely able to get something within Yarmouth.
Great.
Okay. Thank you. And then I just kind of wanted to put in there before we, towards the end of our slides here, Memorial Day week is always a busy week for us as everybody's getting ready to come down and we get ready for the different season coming in, and Memorial Day week is kind of like rush week down here. Phil Renaud, that's also doing our COVID stats, is our main person that goes out and inspects the pools. And that week he inspected 33 motel pools opening, which is a lot. That's a lot that we have to go out and check, and he was checking them before. And a lot of the pools wait, they're checking the weather forecast, and we don't do them on Fridays. We try to leave that for anybody that was doing a follow-up, but he was very busy opening up 33 pools. He also had 2 restaurants open. A lot of restaurants and ice cream places that are already had been open, but there was still a couple that were a little delayed that opened up that week. And he was also doing that week, had to go out and collect 32 beach samples so we could get the beaches open. So we had a nice beach day in there also. So that's Phil's big kudos for Phil. That was a great week for Phil. We appreciate all his hard work. I'm kind of tailoring down to the last page is know the facts, get the vax. We keep pushing that. We do have the signs up the landfill. We've also placed them at the libraries too. So, and we still have that on our signboard here in front of Town Hall. And it's also on the signboards at the fire station on Route 6A and Buck Island Road. So we are keeping that in the visibility in the town. The police needed to use their message board that they had up at the landfill. They had a couple of events coming up, so they've relocated that for now. And we might bring it back at a later date, but I believe we're getting the message out there as best as we can. So that's the overview on the COVID update, Mr. Chairman, and that brings us towards the minutes, if there's no questions.
Thank you again, Bruce. That's great.
Yes.
The minutes, yes, everyone hopefully took a look. It was in the packet. I know Mary had one edit that she had mentioned. Anyone else? Any edits? I don't see any hands going up. So someone make a motion. We can approve the minutes of May 17th, 2021.
I move we approve the minutes of May 17th, 2021.
Second, please.
Second,
Okay. Thank you, both of you. And if you're in favor of
thank
the
you,
motion,
thank-
just raise
thank
your
you,
hand
Mr.
and say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Charlie?
Yep, Charlie's voting for the minutes. Yes, he is. Unanimous.
Okay, done. Let's go.
I would like to thank the board approving the minutes. Erica's worked hard at this to catch all the board lingo, and we've talked about a lot of different things, and she's doing a terrific job in the office and taking over the minutes and being our Zoom master here.
Yeah.
So appreciate all her work also.
They look great, yes.
Yes.
Okay, new and old business, that's number 5 on your agenda. People have some comments, new, old?
a comment, just sort of thinking back to the last meeting. There's quite a lot of boat storage taking place in the Aquifer Protection District. And I think we shed a little bit of light on the situation that several of the facilities that are in operation maybe were sort of grandfathered in or bypassed the hazardous waste portion, or bypassed the Board of Health. And, just thinking about the measures that the individuals that appeared before the board last week, the measures they were putting in place versus what is potentially in place for all of the other businesses. Just wondering how everybody feels about that.
Well, we're kind of reviewing that in-house. Kyle's putting a little history together, what steps, when the dates they got in there, what departments need to review it and that. So we're putting a little something together for the board on that, and we'll bring that to the board, one of the upcoming meetings. And we do have a request from that boatyard to come back again. We said we can get them on an agenda. They're just not sure when they get the information to us. So it's kind of, when they get the information, we'll schedule a meeting.
Did they have their meeting with the ZBA?
I don't believe they filed with the ZBA because they wanted to get Board of Health approval first.
Well, it certainly was a wake-up call for most of us of something we
Right.
didn't know it
Right.
even existed. But Eric, thanks for bringing it up. And yeah, we need to look at it, find out the history of it a little bit, and also the new applicant. So,
Yeah.
So, okay, so we look forward to that being on the future agenda then.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if the work that's going on at the Compass Rose, which was recently sold, is that septic going on there?
Yes, they put a brand new septic system in there.
Okay, did they do anything with the old whirlpool that we had, closed back when?
Yes, well, they took that out about a year ago. They took the
They
whole
did.
pool out. Yes, they did.
Okay,
So
okay,
that's all out, but now the new owners are looking at maybe putting a new updated pool and ventilation system in.
okay, okay,
So
thank you.
that's, yes. That's quite a system they put in. I'm sure everybody that's been driving by 6A.
Oh, my
the
God.
last month,
It's
uh,
extensive.
It's extensive and expensive. You're right. It's
Right.
at the lower lot and they pump it around to up front. So,
Oh, my gosh.
yeah.
Wow.
They've done a lot of great work on the end.
Bruce, why is it that it has to get pumped up to the level where the parking is as opposed to not the other way around? Maybe you can tell us about that.
Pretty much all the plumbing came out that side of the building. And elevation wise, that's where they needed to put it and then pump it around.
Yeah, it looks like they were putting tennis courts in over there. It's,
Right. It was huge.
anything at the beaches over the weekend, Bruce? How did things go?
Nope, haven't had any updates either way, just people enjoying themselves.
And how about the town hall opening?
Town hall is opening right now. We opened last week. Public has been coming in. It's good to see the people back. We are wearing masks within the office and the people coming in for at least this week, last week and probably this week. So that's working well. The libraries are open also. They're doing well with the same precautions. We've still kept the plexiglass up. And I talked to Diane Kane up at the senior center, and they're looking at the following week, starting letting some programs come in up at the senior center. I know the card players, the bridge players are looking to get in there, and they're going to start getting more activities inside and outside at the center going also.
Great.
I think something we need to discuss is about future meetings, whether or not to whether to continue the remote meetings, whether it should be in person at town hall. I think it'd be helpful for people to participate in this discussion. It's an important one.
And right now, the governor will have to make a determination if he's going to extend meetings to be allowed by Zoom, or they're going to just say they have to go back in person. So that's one is a decision the governor is going to have to make. Hopefully he'll have to do it before the 15th. when he declares the pandemic over. So we're still waiting at, and I think in town here, the selectmen will be looking at a policy also, so they might be, they're waiting to hear what the governor's gonna do. So I think once we know that, Mr. Chairman, I can let the board members know.
Well, I think it's important that we have our own opinion, quite frankly, of how we feel about it.
Yeah.
It's certainly been the case during the pandemic for 14 months. We've been an independent body, and so people have an opinion just in sense of, I guess, our own health.
I'm fine going back in person. The one thing I will say about Zoom, I think it gives more people an opportunity to participate because they don't have to worry about, leaving their house to go into town hall. So I'm torn. I'm comfortable either way.
Thank you, Deborah.
I agree with Deborah. I think, yes, it gives more people the opportunity to participate, listen in anyway. I have found it extremely convenient, given what was going on in my life. And I just had some knee surgery, so I would love it if we were Zooming for the rest of the summer at least. But, however the governor decides and the Board of Selectmen decide is okay with me. But I do not mind the Zooming at all. To me, it's just a time saver. It's convenient. It's just worked out really well.
Charlie, Eric?
I'll say that.
I agree. Zoom is very
You're
convenient,
there, tell me to go live meetings.
but I'm flexible either way.
What am I
Zoom is
doing?
Probably more convenient for
You want
me.
to go to a live meeting or stay with Zoom?
Yes, I definitely want to go to a live meeting.
Okay.
Hillard,
If
what's
people
your
feel-
thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's very convenient. I'm on Zoom meetings all day long, and which has been very, very convenient. But I'm flexible on it. Do people feel we need to make any precautions if we're going to have meetings over at town hall? That
Not given the crowds that we don't have there, I think we're probably pretty safe. And we're spaced apart on the, on the front there. I'm not feeling any discomfort about meeting in person with the board.
Yes.
I've been working with the public since the beginning of the pandemic, so I'm completely comfortable.
Yeah, you've had a lot of practice at it, Deborah. Yeah, I am also. Charlie, we know already, it's fine with him. Eric, you feel okay sitting in there at the meetings?
Yep, that'd be fine.
Bruce, you're okay with it?
Fine with me, fine with me.
Okay, I just respect everyone's, needs, and just, we all want to stay healthy. That's great. Okay. Anything else on old and new business?
I can give the board an update. This is graduation week for DY High School. Terrific class of students up there. They've been very special. It's been a tough year for them. I mean, they were affected probably the most with COVID. They handled it terrifically. Zooming at home, and athletics kept moving forward, and a couple of the other clubs that worked. So it's senior week this week, where they have a few activities. I've been working with the school the last month on these activities, with graduation coming Saturday. Kind of worked in conjunction with the Dennis Health Director also. And I just wanted to congratulate the seniors that in the high school staff that have really worked hard all year. And it's a great group of class graduating this year.
Quite
So
a
is
change.
it in person? In person
Yes,
graduation?
it'll be in person, and we're kind of almost using the same format that we had last year. We had pretty much all in format, and it worked out very well. And of course, since then, the governor's even loosened up, as we know, activities. So it flows back to, we're really back to normal, but we're using the same format as the kids coming in and spacing the seating out on the field a little bit.
Good. Okay.
I have a-
Yeah, I would say our next meeting, I have, there's nothing on the agenda right now, Mr. Chairman or board members. We are just waiting for that one boat one to come back in. We have no septic variance applications. We still have a job posting open for the Assistant Director of Health. We did not have any applications after the first 3 weeks, so we're going to repost that. So I do have a engineer coming in 2 days a week, 2 half days a week to keep up on the engineered plans and building sign off. So that's been helpful. But it still slows the office down a little bit, but it kind of gives us, luckily right now, as COVID decreases, we're able to shift some of our energy to permitting at this time.
Bruce, I think I missed something, perhaps the meeting I wasn't at, there was no
Oh.
minutes. Why are you looking for an assistant health director?
The person that we had, Mallory Langer, went back to Falmouth. She's from that area. Her kids in school are in that area. And with a few other oversights that she was thinking, it was just going to work out easier for her to go back that way. So
Okay,
that was
thank you.
after about a year. And when Amy left the last time to go to Brewster, it took us 6 months to fill the position.
Right.
So
Okay.
it is straining the department a little bit.
Yep.
So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'm sure, do we just want to, with anything not pressing right now, COVID coming back, that I'm not sure, maybe that update could wait to a July meeting.
I'm fine with that.
Yep.
So the first Monday is what?
I don't know.
That's the
We
5th.
got a tough on the first Monday. We might have to look at because of the holiday.
Yeah.
It might have to be the second Monday.
It's like
12th?
The 12th, yeah.
12th.
I'm okay with it. If something comes up, we need to meet. Obviously, we have a lot of responsibility, but
Yes.
if nothing develops, I'm okay. Anyone else?
That works out great for me because I wasn't going to be able to make the 21st. So
Yes.
It's fine.
Okay, so let's assume it's July 12th. As I said, unless something else urgent comes up. That should be it on new business then. Last item is number 6 on the agenda. If you
Hey, I just had one question, semi-health related. A lot of the towns are imposing water use restrictions for irrigation water. I think Dennis, Chatham, Brewster, Harwich. I'm just curious if anybody knows, like, I don't think Yarmouth has, and I'm just curious why that is, and if anybody knows the reason.
Well, the water department and DPW is, and the water superintendent's, that follows that 24/7. The water supplies are down, but the amount of wells that we have in town aren't affected right now. Whether they have to go into maybe a restriction at a later date is something they do monitor. But you can look at the ponds around town, they are down now. So water department superintendent is watching that, monitoring that closely.
Yeah, people around the world kind of probably wonder why we use drinking water to feed our lawns.
Yeah.
Great.
It's a different world here. That's all. So, all right. Anyone interested in making a motion here?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Charlie, are you voting?
Yes, he is unanimous.
Okay, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Stay well.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Drink
Thank
plenty of water.